So I think mostly a lot of y'all probably already heard about these investigations into Payola. There was something that happened. I can't remember right now and offhand. I think it was overseas about DJs, radio stations, people pay for play, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Rory, he's been talking about this lately, and he's also been talking about a pending investigation, or should I say RICO, that's going to be happening here in the U.S. against some of these radio stations. And now he's even saying he's seen the paperwork. That's what he's claiming. All right. So in this video, we're going to go over the clip of him talking about this with Mal. We'll also go over a clip of Akademiks reacting to this, because y'all already know those two factions got beef anyway. So Akademiks point some things out. And of course, they are kind of injecting Drake into this. Rory's trying to say, or insinuate at least, that Drake's been a part of this being initiated. Akademiks is saying that's not the case. It's a bunch of BS. He's calling cap on him. I'll get my thoughts about all this. I mean, I don't know if there is. I'm curious to know how Rory seen the paperwork, and there hasn't even been an announcement of the investigation. This was seen. You would think this would be something big that they would keep close to the vest, but according to him, he's seen it and he's seen names. But let's get into it and talk about it.
I've been telling y'all that a RICO case was coming with radio.
Right.
We just skipped over that.
No, I mean, you didn't really want to speak on it.
Now.
You didn't really. You alluded to it. You kind of flirted with it, but we didn't really go into it.
I wanted to wait for the full report to actually come out.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a long day for some of you guys.
How long of a day?
I got a glance at some of that paperwork. There's some crazy fucking names in there.
It is.
Like, I know a lot of y'all government names now. I felt like Whack 100. Like, I was having a paperwork party. I was like, they was in on it too?
Yeah, see, okay, I understand getting paperwork after a case has maybe been filed, but how do you get RICO paperwork for something this big? Like, this would be on a government level, you would think, right? I don't know for sure, but you would think, talking about radio stations, and that's pretty high level stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little incredulous at this point. I could be wrong. And when it come out, and if it happened, if he's right, he's right. I always tell you, I reserve my right to change my mind when it comes to shit. But I'm wondering how Rory got to see it. That's what I'm wondering. You would think if he know, wouldn't that make it easier for the people involved who are going to end up being named in this to know? They could flee, anything like that. I don't know. It just don't make sense. But
and wait, that's his real name?
But what does this mean though? Like for music?
I mean, I think it's not just with the radio companies. Obviously, iHeart, which we're on, being one of the biggest conglomerates of all time. I can speak for myself. I've definitely taken Payola. So, I mean, we may end up being in this case as well. Like, all our opinions up here are bought. They pay us for them, which is directly funneled through iHeart, so we can get a tax break. So we will probably be on that stand as well. Cuffed to DJ. Never mind.
No, get into your bag. Don't say never mind now. You there. Don't walk it back.
Please just bleep the name.
Just go.
Did he just say DJ Head?
Cuffed to DJ.
Envy or Head? Let me see.
So we will probably be on that stand as well. Cuffed to DJ.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm trying to read his lips. It almost seemed like he said DJ Head, but then it seemed like there was an extra V at the end of it. I don't know. Either way, I feel like he might be. He's probably being facetious right now. I don't think he's being serious, but
never mind.
No, get into your bag. Don't say never mind now. You there. Don't walk it back.
Please just bleep the name.
Just go.
I'm joking. I'm not here to indict anyone. But yes, the RICO, from my understanding, is labels not only just doing Payola, which for those people that don't know, Payola is when companies or people will pay DJs or radio executives, or they can pay the janitor at the radio station, give them money so that someone can play a record. Now, Payola's been around since the inception of radio. That's why it's illegal, because they had to monitor it. We've known that's been going on. The bigger part of this Radio RICO shit is the money laundering portion of it, which is an extreme version of what Payola would be. Funneling a bunch of money into radio so a record can continue to play, yes, Payola. But then when the radio station is setting the price higher than anyone else to funnel it back to the label, now you are by definition laundering money.
Right.
You're putting money out, it's getting clean, no taxes there, and then it's coming back to you as a profit.
Yeah.
That is money laundering.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this isn't just a DJ. Some guy from East New York was hanging outside the Hot 97 office with a brown paper bag and was like, yo, my man's rap. Here's 20K.
No, this is not
it's not Hove, Dame, and your brother giving Flex champagne baskets or everyone at the radio station.
Right.
It's not labels paying for DJ crews to go to the Caribbean. This is legitimately a RICO money laundering situation between the three major labels and the biggest radio conglomerate in the world, plus MS, plus any other radio station across the country.
Right.
And guys, iHeart, I know you're watching. I think you're innocent.
Okay. Well, we gonna see.
I think iHeart's trying to buy NBC, something along those lines. iHeart, I'm here to stand with you. I don't think you guys are guilty. I could never see a world where Universal, Warner, or Sony would ever be in bed with iHeartMedia. I don't see a world where that happens.
Well, of course he's gonna say that. You know what I mean? If he on their platform, but I guess that would be kind of crazy. Now, just listening to this, and this isn't the first time I heard this. This is way beyond any artist, right? This is beyond that. But also, this still, if we bring it back down to the micro, we ain't gonna look at it from a macro perspective, just to the micro. We know that if they're doing this, or had they been doing this, who's going to benefit the most, right? The biggest artist. Who's one of the biggest artists? Drake. So, I mean, they by default, you got to think, if this is true and there's some paperwork that starts coming out and they're naming people, like, eventually we'll see what artists probably benefited from these schemes, right?
So just to have fun here based on something I said. So do you understand the red button a little more now?
Oh my goodness. Come on, nigga.
Drake's lawsuit, I don't see a world where that happens.
So just to have fun here based on something I said. So do you understand the red button a little more now?
Yo, Drake fans, y'all got to stop moving the goalposts, bro. So now the red button now is a RICO with all the radio stations in iHeart that they were laundering. But that's the red button now. Remember, the red button was dropped in the midst of a rap battle. Now, if Drake was already planning on snitching if he lost in the middle of a rap battle, that's even worse than sucker shit. That makes him look even worse than this. The red button ain't the loss, or the red button ain't all this if this is what happens. So you got nothing to do with that, bro. In the moment, Drake's red button was Family Matters. He thought that would end it all. He thought that would be the nuke, and it wasn't. Now all of a sudden, this thing done morphed into the lawsuit, this, that, Kendrick proof that he beat on his girl. It done morphed into 1,000 different things, man. This is corny. See, this is the corny shit. Like, come on, Mal. Come on, man. This ain't the red button, bro. The red button shit's over. That shit's dead, man. Can we stop with the red button stuff already?
Oh, Drake's lawsuit certainly added to this.
Okay.
Significantly. From my understanding, it was in play already. But with the lawsuit and people having to now show and reveal things because of the lawsuit, it certainly didn't help the labels or iHeart.
So what does this mean though for music moving forward? What does this mean for artists? What does this mean?
They'll find a fall guy and everything will be business as usual, and they'll find a new way to do it.
Right.
It's like any other business. I'm not even mad at the labels or radio. This goes on in any genre, business, shit. If we want to come down on fucking iHeartMedia and Universal based off paying for some songs, go down to Wall Street and see what they do at Chase Bank. Like,
right.
Somebody's going to be a fall. No, they're going to find one person.
It's nothing new.
There's not going to be a settlement here. I just think the feds, which is ironic because there's so much going on in the world. I think the feds are kind of fucking bored and are just running wild with RICO. And the
feds are bored.
Yeah.
That's interesting. With so much going on.
Yeah. Like, listen, we were the first people up here to condemn Puff and believe.
All right. So that's it for that one. Now let's get to DJ Akademiks' response to what Rory just said.
This albino boy need to shut his fucking trap. He's capping. Listen, this is why I hate speaking on these things, because, you know, Drake fans want me to give them the narrative that they could repost me a million times. I don't give a fuck if they repost me. I'm just going to be honest with what I think is the truth. The truth is this Radio RICO got nothing to do with Drake. Nothing. Okay? Now, has Drake's lawsuit made more eyes look at entities that are either fabricating, forcing, or allowing paid shit? Yes. Okay. But is it because, here's the thing, Drake is one of the most beloved artists that gets the most play historically over the last 15 years on radio. Y'all can't sit here, and I know this is a Drake fans like fallacy here. We can't sit here and say the radio is catching a RICO when the most artists they've played is Drake. So basically, you're hurting your own point by saying they're getting RICO'd. So they got paid to play Drake. No, but you don't believe that, right? So the point is this: they're not doing it for Drake, because Drake, unless Drake's an idiot, he would want radio to get RICO'd. And also, his plight isn't with radio; it's with bots, which is streaming. His plight is streaming. His fight is streaming, actually. Not plight, straight fight. His fight is with streaming. This idea of a red button, I think, honestly, and with all due respect to everybody involved, Mealy Mall, even with all due respect to my guy, What's the Dirt, I don't think there's a fucking red button. There's no red button to press. Drake is suing his label, and Drake also believed that streaming companies that he helped build are playing games with him at this point.
Well, at least he said it, and we all knew the same shit. The red button was fucking Family Matters. That's it. And then he got desperate and upset and went to the lawsuit. But we talking about the same streaming companies he benefited from. So that's the thing. It's just like, dude, that's why it's one of the reasons why, not just why, but it's just not respectable at all. Because like Akademiks is saying right now, you've been the main beneficiary or one of the main beneficiaries of that system and way of doing business. Nobody's going to respect that now that you just been on a receiving end of being screwed, right?
I think those two things have valid points if he's going to try to pursue it legally. I think not defamation. I think defamation should go towards Kendrick. I've always said this. Sue Kendrick for defamation. You could sue UMG for illegal business practices if you feel they devalued you to offer you less money. That's valid. And if you want to get at the DSPs about you feeling like they're doing unfair shit as well, cool. When did we ever start talking about radio? When did radio start mattering? Drake fans, with all due respect, let's stay in reality. Don't get to K-Bot land, okay? Drake, nobody thinks that the reason why Not Like Us popped off was because of radio. I've never even heard it on the radio. Honestly, I don't listen to radio. So let's not try to grasp for straws and grab a fake win by just claiming that, oh no, the Radio RICO is coming because Drake pressed the red button. Drake wasn't even on beefing with radio. Drake hasn't given a fuck about radio.
Well, wasn't they just complaining about that though? Because of the way they changed the charting on Billboard and not counting radio plays, and Drake making that post on IG about he gonna get his number one way or another. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the Drake stand, he talking about K-Boss. A lot of this is Drake stands, and then they'll try to find any way to spin some. Remember, They just went through this whole red button shit on the Iceman 3-string. You know what I mean? Only to come out the other end looking dumb as hell. So I get what he's saying, but that's not been the narrative even coming from Drake and his camp. So one of the reasons it's being pushed, because what's the dirt just said it. I was told something else. Remember, he was mad about the Iceman 3-string because he said that Drake's camp told him something. It was going to shake the industry. So that's the propaganda and narrative coming from Drake himself. It ain't just the fault of, even the Drake stands and shit that's pushing it. They're pushing it because he's putting it out there like that.
You know what Drake cares about is the places he goes to. Streams, streamers. Yes, I think he believes that Kendrick used bots on stream. But let's not claim any legal action about it happen is Drake influence or that's Drake pushing the button. Let's relax. Radio been corrupt for a while. There seems to be trying to start some crackdown. If you want to give Drake the visibility or the credit of maybe raising visibility among these issues, I guess so. But if you think this is directly related to or Drake is forcing the hand of the federal government to investigate radio, I think you're full of shit, and I think you're delusional, and I think you're dumb. If you believe Drake's lawsuit is the reason this is happening, I think you're stupid. I'm sorry. Also, the most played artist on urban radio for the last 15 years, add them all up, it's going to be Drake. So, yeah, I just want to say this to Drake fans. I got to find an argument that is waterproof. This is not waterproof. It has a lot of holes. Nah, Drake pressed the red button. And Millie Ball, like, you even saying this, like, they're looking at you as a credible source for Drake now. You even saying this bullshit is a reason why some of this shit exists. Like, come on, dog.
Hell, it's funny. Hey, the only reason he calling it out because he don't like them dudes. He definitely don't like Mal. It's funny sometimes, man, to hear them speak sense, but then in the next breath say some total bullshit.
Come on, bro. And even then, you wouldn't even want to, like, I know Drake ain't a street rapper, but Drake don't like nobody say he's telling. That would be telling. Oh, Drake told the feds to go run up in these buildings. Huh? But even, bro, this is like so much mental gymnastics. This got nothing to do with motherfucking Drake. Maybe Drake sued Spotify. Maybe.
Well, it might not have anything to do with Drake as far as him initiating it and being a part of it, which that's debatable. I feel like Drake's a scorned lover at this point. He'd do anything. By that, I'm just saying, like, figuratively between him and UMG and shit. But also, it could have involved him if he's been the recipient and it comes out. Like, that's going to, at the very least, put some asterisks by his success and the success of some of his songs if it comes out that he's been a huge recipient of this payola / money laundering scheme to get his stuff to be played so much. And I know Akademiks is making that distinction between radio and streaming. But do you think that he would be the beneficiary of just that in streaming and not radio and vice versa? No, man, it goes hand in hand.
Drake sued Apple Music, but Drake's been told about streams. He ain't never been told about radio play. Now, granted, is it probably part of a silent play? Maybe, because he's getting robbed from number ones by not having airplay recently. And I ain't gonna lie, he hasn't gotten mad airplay recently. He hasn't. I don't know why. But I thought it was because he was focused on streaming. Drake doesn't use a team. Drake just drops music. So, yeah, he gets the streams. But to get a number one record, you're going to have to hire a radio team to work the record. He doesn't do it no more. That's why his records don't get a lot of airplay. And radio's been pay to play for a while. So when you stop paying radio, they're like, all right, we'll play you sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, part of it got to do with the quality too.
Somebody said, I'm flipping on Drizzy. No, I'm not. Drake never said, this is the red button. Drake never said, I am gonna influence.
Again, I don't agree with that because it's been shown that information has come from his camp insinuating different red buttons, right? Or the red button is different things at different times up until this last time with the last Iceman 3 stream. And while What's the Dirt is not necessarily a credible source for a lot of things, I really don't have no reason to believe that he did not truly expect for something to be said or done in that stream because of what was told to him by Drake's camp, seeing how he's been in cahoots with them for so long, right? He seemed genuinely upset about that. So, and I haven't really seen anyone come out to contradict it, but you know, take that for what you will.
It's a Radio RICO. It's y'all fans that are saying it. Y'all fans are coming up with theories to support these kind of cuckoo, and y'all do it on both sides, Drake and Kendrick, cuckoo agendas, thinking that everything has to do with Drake. No, it don't. Radio been corrupt. However, an argument could be made through his corruption. It's only helped Drake, not hurt him.
Exactly.
Helped him, not hurt him.
Right.
So what are we talking about? Again, look at the lawsuit. The lawsuit talks about mainly streaming. Now it does talk somewhat about radio play. And yes, he did want to he did subpoena or try to subpoena iHeart. But generally his beef is with bots. Drake's beef is you allowed a song to go out that defamed me. Y'all all promoted it. And then these people have been allowing bots. We're not talking about radio stations. I'm on Team Kendrick. Bro, I'm called on Team Truth. I done told y'all. Kendrick does a lot of the shit that Drake does. Like why y'all act? There's no good and bad. Like, what's up with y'all? It's about K-Bot getting unusual plays? Huh? Honestly, I think the radio stuff, I think it stems from not even Power 105. I think it stems from what I've heard.
All right. He's kind of just going back and forth with the chat. We're going to end that right there. But, you know, apparently Mal has seen this paperwork, or not Mal, Rory. Seemed like Mal was saying he's seen it too. Rory claims to have seen names of people involved that he know. Who knows, man? We'll see. I honestly I wasn't really following this, so I forgot all about this even being a thing. Now, you know, Rory's trying to say Drake's a part of it, at least as far as getting it started. Akademiks called cap and actually spoke some truthful things that make sense. The only thing is that even when it comes to Kendrick fans, yeah, there's some stands out there that be getting on some crazy stuff, but they're not the ones making up these narratives. Like, there's really no narrative that needs to be made up about Kendrick right now. What narrative is there? There's nothing being made up. If anything, they're just championing their guy and gloating a whole lot. I mean, like, what are they really making up? What is the so-called K-bots making up about Kendrick right now? There's been no proof at all of any DV happening. So, I mean, there's nothing being made up on that side. It's all been on the other side. And the source of a lot of it has been Drake himself. So that's where it's coming from, Drake. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll check y'all in the next one.